went to Folly Beach in the morning and basically hung out on the beach and got sunburned. I also went down the pier and checked that out, along with actually eating lunch at Pier 101, which was okay. It's not fabulous, but it wasn't bad either. I arrived at Folly Beach for some fun in the sun. Luckily, I arrived early enough to still get a good parking spot and basically the only parking lot around the pier. I did a little bit of lounging around in the sand, swimming in the warm waters of the ocean, and contemplating life while soaking up the sun. As it got closer to lunch, I packed up all my gear and walked down the beach for a while just to check it all out and soak it all in before walking back and heading out to the pier. I stopped for lunch at Pier 101, where I tried the crab cakes and also had a few beach-style drinks. The service was fast, the food tasted fresh, the drinks tasted sweet. It was just what was needed before heading out and checking out the strip of gift shops and stores that was close by the beach. Well, I went down and checked out Rainbow Row, which is a bunch of pastel colored houses. Walked down past them, took some pictures, walked all the way down to Battery Park, which was really nice and relaxing. Basically hung out there for a little bit before I turned around and walked back to my car. Rainbow Row is a series of historical houses that got its name due to their pastel colors. According to some tales, they were painted in the various colors to help intoxicated sailors coming into port to help them remember which house they were bunking in. They were originally constructed with stores on the bottom level and their living quarters on the top level. Going to Battery Park, you will find cannons, cannonballs, oak trees, palmettos, statues, and a gazebo. It boasts an incredible view of Fort Sumter, Castle Pinckney, and the Sullivan Island Lighthouse. I like to imagine the individuals back in the day that gathered to watch the battle take place at Fort Sumter, watching the cannonballs fly through the air. It must have been like watching the fireworks shows of today, just a little more dangerous. Battery Park is also known for its stately homes and mansions that surround the park.
A kiss is still a kiss.
In the morning, I decided to stop at the Charleston Farmers Market in Marion Square. It was nice to check out the locally grown produce along with all the other vendors they had. I tried a few samples of this and that before grabbing a fresh bag of bourbon pecans from a vendor. I also had a fresh squeezed lemonade, which was amazing. For lunch, I tried this biscuit vendor who had fresh biscuits that I got topped with gravy, pulled pork, and an egg. I sat down to eat my lunch in the courtyard area, listened to some good music, and even talk to some of the travelers about their experiences. Somewhere over here is the USS Yorktown. It's a giant aircraft carrier that you can go and visit, along with a destroyer and a submarine. It's over there at Patriot's Point, and that's where I spent a few hours of my day. So let's go ahead and check out some of that footage from when I was there.
You must remember this, a kiss is still a kiss.
The USS Yorktown is an Essex-class aircraft carrier. It was built during World War II. It was named after the Battle of Yorktown. It served many years in the Pacific, where she earned a 5-star battle rating in the Vietnam War. She also served as a recovery ship for the Apollo 8 space missions. They had a few different tours you could take to check out the living and working quarters, along with going up onto the flight deck. It was interesting to check out the cramped quarters that everybody worked on that ship had to endure. And it wasn't even that. It was amazing to find out that, shoot, I don't even think they had air conditioning aboard the ship, because I was burning up. It was interesting to see how cramped all the quarters were, how small the hallways were, and how steep the stairs, or I don't know if they were stairs or ladders, but it actually even got smaller checking out the destroyer and then even going on to the submarine. But there was about 5 different tours that you could take, if you include the flight deck and bridge. One was the living and working area. One of the tours was the engine room and fire room. One of the tours was the flight deck bridge, and then chief of staff cabins and admiral's cabins, and pilots ready rooms. There's another tour that was the carrier rooms. Another tour was the wardroom and brig, and then the hangar deck. The submarine was by far the most cramped and claustrophobic thing I've been on. I tried to hurry through a little bit because I swear I heard water leaking everywhere. By the look of the outside, I was almost sure it was going to sink. One of the land-based exhibits they had was the Vietnam Experience. It was billed as a living history exhibit where it was laid out like the bases that you would experience if you were actually in Vietnam. start walking around, you'll learn about the Tet Offensive and the Battle of Khe Sanh. It was a immersive experience with interactive exhibits and buildings. They were set up to engage you about the Vietnam experience. They also had information about the Brown Water Navy. They had helicopters set up that you could check out, and even some that you can walk inside. They also had tanks, barracks, mess halls, medical facilities, with some of the buildings even playing videos on loop that give you more information. After I left Patriot's Point, I headed over to Fleet Landing for dinner. It was one of the top billed places to eat. They had a very long wait, which was over an hour long. But once seated, the outside view was awesome. So overall, the food was reasonable, the service was fast, and the view was magnificent.